Okay, so in my last video, I mentioned that I am planning to create more videos about American politics on this channel. Okay, so uh, honestly, I've been trying to figure out kung paano ko umpisahan yung series na yon, and it's a little bit overwhelming. Okay, kasi sobrang lawak at sobrang lalim ng rabbit hole na iyon, and since election na sa kanila, I think there are a lot of things that's happening over there that are quite interesting to at least to some Filipinos, okay, and especially to those who are watching this channel. Explain natin kung paano ba ako na naging interesado dito sa American politics in the first place, since 'di ba parang medyo weird kasi na Pilipino ako, bakit ba ako pakialam ko ba sa kanila, 'di ba? So we're gonna get into that right now. But before we start, siguro pala, I thought na I'd tell you about my status politically back then, noong mga panahon na hindi ko pa tinitingnan yung American politics. Okay, so I was a typical Pinoy na walang masyadong pakialam sa politika actually. And I was like a lot of Filipinos, so I was sick and tired about personality politics here in the Philippines, na puro mga walang kwenta yung mga politiko, or at least yun ang paniniwala ko predominantly, na lahat ng politiko walang kwenta, and the system doesn't work, without exactly knowing and being able to explain why. 'Di ba? Kasi iba 'yun eh. Very knee jerk yung mga reactions ko when it comes to politics during that time. I was participating online, mga online discussions, but looking back, I could say that napakahilaw pala nung paningin ko sa politika during those times. And compared to now, I would have had very different takes noong mga nangyayari noong mga panahon na yon. Although I wouldn't say I am an expert by any stretch of the imagination about political science, or whatever you want to call it. But I think I have developed my own way of looking at things because of my interest dito sa subject na ito. So around mga early 2010s, I was consuming a lot of YouTube videos about science, about philosophy, history, 'di ba? Art, yun ang mga pinapanood ko eh. Saka yung mga self-help gurus, 'di ba? Sina Brian Tracy, tsaka yung mga philosophers, mga ganyan, mga documentaries. Hindi pa masyadong uso yung podcast noon eh. But then again, I discovered the Joe Rogan Experience, and it is actually malaki ang influence talaga sa akin, obviously, dito sa podcasting. And it had opened a lot of avenues for me to think and observe and analyze things, and it opened doors for me to explore and learn about different things about life, politics, and basically everything. I was really fascinated by the diversity ng mga guests, and there were many guests who eventually started talking about politics on the show, and those topics became starting points for me to look up and learn more about them. Yun, so sa Joe Rogan experience, nagsimula talaga yan. Okay? Okay, so while watching the Joe Rogan experience, I was introduced to a lot of concepts about the things that are happening in the US, 'di ba? Pero surface level lang yung mga pang-unawa ko doon, and most of the time parang I just parang naririnig ko lang siya. Some of the things were brought up frequently, pero I didn't really bother looking deeper into them. Yun yung simula ng mga ng woke era. During that time kasi nagsisimula na yung Me Too movement, yung debate nila tungkol dun sa Obamacare. Si Donald Trump ata hindi pa nag-a-announce nun eh. So wala pang masyadong Donald Trump news nun. 'Di ba? Mga naririnig ko lang siya, pero I don't really bother finding out what they really were. Yung mga details ng mga ganyan. Until eto na ang pinakang turning point kung bakit ako naging interesado talaga. Yung mga school shootings na nangyayari sa Amerika, nagkaroon na naman ng isang matindi. I can't remember kung ano yun exactly, pero it is terrible. It was a terrible school shooting that happened again in the United States. And while watching, may mga napapanood akong news about it. Hindi ko matanggap kung ano yung rason nila, kasi takang-taka ko, bakit ba nangyayari to? Bakit ba nangyayari itong mga gun shootings na to, mga school shootings, pinapatay yung mga bata, diba? Anong silbi nun? Bakit nangyayari yun sa Amerika? Kasi it's quite a very uniquely American thing, at least for me back then, kasi dito sa Pilipinas hindi naman nangyayari yun eh, 'di ba? Walang ganon. Para sa ano bang meron sa Amerika? Bakit ba merong namamaril ng mga bata, mga poke ng inang yan, 'di ba? So I looked deeper, and dun sa mga news na napanood ko, hindi na sa Joe Rogan to eh. Dun sa mga news videos na napapanood ko, puro mainstream media yung nandun. And a lot of the things that actually everything na dun sa initial search ko na napanood ko were saying the same things, na they were all blaming people, specifically Republicans, for owning guns, 'di ba? And the narrative was these Republicans are so evil. They are so evil. Wala silang pakialam sa mga batang mamatay yung mga bata. Mas mahal nila yung baril nila. 'Di ba? Yun yung naririnig ko dun sa mga pundits, dun sa mga news anchors, sa mga opinions, 'di ba? Yun ang napapanood ko, yun ang lumalabas sa lahat ng search ko sa media, sa kanila. Sabi ko, grabe, totoo ba 'to? Hindi ko matanggap. Parang kumbaga, ang pagkakaalam ko kasi yung Republicans are basically half the population of America. So you are telling me na kalahati ng populasyon ng America are bloodthirsty people who love shooting children because they have guns. Yun yung sinasabi niya sa akin, 'di ba? And well, at least magkakaiba sila ng levels ng ng vitriol, at saka yung levels nila ng panghihikayat, ng demagoguery. Yan, demagoguery tuloy. 'Di ba? Yung pagiging demagogue nila na parang it's a very napakasama ng mga taong to, 'di ba? Ganun ng impression sa akin talaga, na parang kung hindi ka mag-iisip talaga critically, isipin mo demonyo yung kalahati ng Amerika, 'di ba? Which is hindi ko matanggap na ganun ba talaga ang mga Amerikano. Kumbaga parang maybe they are, 'di ba? Maybe they are. Hindi ko naman alam. Wala naman ako doon eh. Pero I would need to see proof na yun talaga ang dahilan. Okay, so what I did was I started searching for different keywords, 'di ba? Na instead na mass shootings lang, nilagay ko was something like school shootings, Republican perspective, 'di ba? Or para school, what do Republicans think about school shootings, something like that. Okay, and lo and behold, ibang-iba yung mga sinasabi nila doon sa mainstream narrative. So that's when I found out that what the fuck, parang these people were lying to me, di ba? Or at least they were not being fully honest in representing the arguments or the views of the Republican Party, di ba? So I realized na based na rin dun sa mga sinasabi dun sa podcast ni na Joe Rogan, dun sa mga yung ibang guest niya na the media is lying, di ba? That line had been repeated 90s pa lang, naririnig ko na yung line na yun eh. Pero until that time, yun yung isang parang tingin ko ay concrete example na these people are not really honest about what they're saying in their news shows. One particular video na napanood ko, I was introduced to this guy named Ben Shapiro when he appeared on Piers Morgan's show back in the day.
My next guest has strong words for me. He says I'm off the rails on guns in America. Ben Shapiro is editor-at-large at Breitbart.com and the author of Bullies, How the Left's Culture of Fear and Intimidation Silences Americans. So why am I off the rails, Mr. Shapiro?
Honestly, Piers, you've kind of been a bully on this issue because what you do, and I've seen it repeatedly on your show, I watch your show, and I've seen it repeatedly, what you tend to do is you tend to demonize people who differ from you politically by standing on the graves of the children of Sandy Hook, saying they don't seem to care enough about the dead kids. If they cared more about the dead kids, they would agree with you on policy. I think we can have a rational political conversation about balancing rights and risks and rewards of all of these different policies, but I don't think that what we need to do is demonize people on the other side as being unfeeling about what happened in Sandy Hook.
How dare you accuse me of standing on the graves of the children that died there? How dare you?
I've seen you do it repeatedly, Piers.
Like I say, how dare you?
Well, I mean, you can keep saying that, but you've done it repeatedly. What you do, and I've seen you do it on the program, is you keep saying to folks that if they disagree with you politically, then somehow this is a violation of what happened in Sandy Hook. And you have yet, I'd really like to hear your policy prescriptions for what we should do about guns. Because you say that you respect the Second Amendment, and, you know, I brought this here for you so that you can read it. It's the Constitution. And I would really like for you to explain to me what you would do about guns that would have prevented what happened in Sandy Hook. If you want to do what you did in the UK, right, which is ban virtually all guns, that is at least a fair argument, and we can have a discussion. All I'm asking is for you to be philosophically consistent. If what you're worried about is the removal of killing machines from the hands of deranged young people, then maybe we should talk about a blanket gun ban. And let's get to what the left really wants here. And, you say that you're for the Second Amendment.
Why is it about left or right? Because in Britain this never is about left or right, this issue. Why is it here?
Well, we can talk about Britain in a second. I think the reason that it's about left and right here is because fundamentally the right believes that the basis for the Second Amendment, and they believe in the Second Amendment, the basis for the Second Amendment is not really about self-defense and it's not about hunting. It is about resistance to government tyranny. That's what the founders said, and that's what the right believes in this country.
Which tyranny are you fearing yourself?
I fear the possibility of a tyranny rising in this country in the next 50 to 100 years. Let me tell you something, Piers. The fact that my grandparents and great-grandparents in Europe didn't fear that is why they are now ashes in Europe. So this kind of leftist revisionist history, where there's never any fear of democracy going usurpacious or tyrannical, is just that. It is fictitious.
Just to clarify your position then, the answer to Sandy Hook, as it was to Aurora, as it was to Gabrielle Giffords, as it was to Columbine and Virginia Tech, is you do nothing. Is that your position?
And that's not my position.
What is your position?
My position is that we have to calibrate laws that are designed to get guns out of the hands of bad people and keep guns in the hands of good people who want to buy them. This idea of more guns versus less guns.
How do you do that?
Well, I think one of the ways that you do that is by better screening for mental illness. I think that you do better background check.
Okay, so after seeing that clip, it actually brought more questions than answers to me, di ba? Kasi hindi half of the things that were mentioned as a defense by Ben Shapiro, hindi ko naman alam kung ano talaga, 'di ba? Ano ba yung Second Amendment? Paano naging defense 'yun doon sa sinasabi ni Piers Morgan, 'di ba? Ano ba what's the deal with assault rifles and all, 'di ba? Ano yung debate tungkol doon? And among other things. But the biggest takeaway siguro or discovery rather na nakita ko doon sa clip na yon, meron palang mga dissenting voice that challenge the mainstream media narrative that are maybe doon sa kanila nabibigyan ng platform, but over here hindi ko naririnig yon. I never saw Ben Shapiro in the late night TV shows, 'di ba? Hindi ko kilala yon, 'di ba? Sino ba yon? 'Di ba? Kasi ang source ng politics mo, ng American politics mo usually dito sa Pilipinas would be CNN, yung mga cable news, sometimes sa local news meron din, and yung mga mga late night show host, 'di ba? Sina Jimmy Kimmel, yan, sina Stephen Colbert. Yun ang doon mo maririnig yung mga yung mga political and cultural shit that were happening in the US back then. And those are all left-wing people, 'di ba? So there are no right-wing personalities that were familiar here in the Philippines. So it was a discovery that there is a right-wing voice that you can actually look up to find nuance on different issues. And that was, kumbaga, eye-opening para sa akin. And there, it opened the rabbit hole which I entered, and hindi na ako nakalabas since then. Of course, hindi naman ibig sabihin na yung right wing ay laging tama, 'di ba? Even Ben Shapiro, I think he's a great guy. I think he's a very good and one of the best debaters I've seen, 'di ba? Kumbaga parang very formidable si Ben Shapiro. Even though hindi naman lahat ng sinasabi niya I would agree, 'di ba? Or sometimes I agree a little bit, pero you can contest his ideas, especially recently madami siyang mga contestable views about censorship, about kung ano pa, 'di ba? Iba, tsaka natin pag-usapan yung mga yon. But again, the big takeaway is that in the internet you can discover different views na hindi ka ikakahon. Kumbaga, you have the freedom to find out about as many ideas about certain topics sa YouTube, sa Google, at kung saan-saan pa. And there are people who are willing to provide these new ideas to you if you are willing to search for them. Okay, but of course, you would need to apply as well yung mga philosophical at saka mga moral standards mo, na parang just because dissenting opinion yan doesn't mean you'd have to put it in high regard, diba? And of course, those will be determined by your individual by our individual values, philosophy, ideology, culture, and all. But these ideas are all over the internet, and you just need to use your intelligence to discern kung alin ba ang okay at hindi. Okay? So dahil dyan, napadpad ako at I started looking up about what the Second Amendment was, 'di ba? And discovered the philosophy behind it, na parang oo nga no, 'di ba? This is a valuable thing that they have sa Amerika, kasi yung Second Amendment wala dito yun eh. Wala sa Pilipinas nun, yung right to bear arms. It is a very uniquely American law that's embedded in their constitution. And I found out, going back to mass shootings, kumbaga tama din si Ben Shapiro eh, na parang yung mass shootings kasi are being used to push the gun control agenda, 'di ba? You are not really fixing gun shooting, gun violence, but instead you are using it to push the agenda to take away guns in the United States among law-abiding citizens. At least yun ang nakita kong argument sa kabila. Although I would still recognize that there is a problem na may mga nakakalusot talaga na masasamang tao because they have access to guns, and it is a double-edged sword yung Second Amendment. But are you gonna, ito yung philosophical argument dyan eh, kumbaga yung cons ba outweighs the pros, 'di ba? Do you think just because wala nang giyera hindi na magkakaroon and you can just disregard the Second Amendment, 'di ba? Yun yung argumento doon. And of course the other side are saying na hindi naman nila gustong tanggalin yung right to bear arms. Kumbaga, the other side always argues about slippery slopes, na parang once you start giving an inch, they will take everything eventually, diba? So yun ang pinoprotektahan nila. And about gun violence, ang sagot would be, doon sa kabila, would be better mental health services siguro, 'di ba? And screening dun sa mga mag-a-apply ng mga para magkabaril, 'di ba? And mahaba pang discussion 'yan. Kumbaga hindi pa nga sila nagkakasundo doon eh, 'di ba? Pero one thing is clear. There are two different philosophies na naglalaban dito, 'di ba? Doon sa about the issue of gun control. And again, you would need to apply your own beliefs, your own values, ideologies, kultura to pick a side. Okay? The comics man method, 'di ba? Yun. So wala namang whether you're pro or a con, and you are acting in good faith, I don't think there is a wrong pick, 'di ba? Kasi kung yun ang yun ang paniniwala mo eh. But then again, the culture will dictate which one is needed, 'di ba? Kung ano yung mas beneficial doon sa current state ng society. Yun ang pagtatalunan mo. And that is philosophy, that is political ideology, that is political science. And na-discover ko yun. I realized that many years. Hindi ko ba dun sa Ben Shapiro, it was just a starting point. It was many years of journey before I started figuring things out and put the pieces together and understand the much larger picture. That is politics, not just American politics in general, which you can also apply everywhere else in the world, even here in the Philippines. And you can compare yung mga political setups natin sa kanila at sa ibang bansa. Okay, so yun ang aking simula na dito sa rabbit hole ng American politics, and I'm gonna be sharing more insights about it and of course with a Filipino perspective and personal perspective sa mga issues. Okay, yun lang. Paalam.